This is a tweet from 2021 and let me tell you one thing, those winters were not fun. Luckily though, things completely changed in 2022. Battlefield 2042 is super fun to play right now. The servers are almost always full. More content is being added to the game. The number of bugs have drastically reduced. But yeah, check this out and I'll talk to you guys in a minute.
Charlie 1 taken by hostile.
So let's talk about Battlefield 2042 now. I have divided this video into 4 sections and you can hop onto whichever one you would like to. Firstly, let's talk about the player base. Even though the player count is nowhere close to what it used to be during the launch week in November 2021, there has been a steady increase in the number of players. Once you have crossplay turned on, you can always find lobbies to play Battlefield 2042. For those unaware, what crossplay does is allow players on PC and consoles to play together in the same lobby. As a result, the number of AI players is reduced. It's much faster to find and join matches, and you can enjoy 2042 with your friends no matter whether they are on a console or a PC. Now, I won't deny that PC players have a slight advantage over console players, but if you are good with the controller, you can easily dominate lobbies. Believe it or not, I have died more to PlayStation and Xbox players in comparison to PC players. Also, if you have friends who play Battlefield 2042, you will definitely enjoy the 2042 sandbox. And even if you don't have friends, just add people that you regularly see on the servers. By the way, this is me and my friends messing around in a vehicle. Moving on to specialists. Unlike every other Battlefield in the past decade, 2042 has no class system. Rather, the game has several specialists that possess active and passive skills. There are no weapon or gadget restrictions in this game, and you can effortlessly run whatever you would like to. Sadly, this makes some specialists slightly more powerful in comparison to others. And yeah, I'm looking at you, McKay. Now, by the time you're watching this video, DICE would have definitely introduced the class system, but for more than 1 year, there was no class system in this game. That said, it's worth noting that a majority of the vehicle destruction clips that you saw at the start of this video were only possible thanks to the missing class system. Maybe once the classes are reintroduced, I can't no longer do that. Depending on your playstyle and what you prefer doing to help your team win the match, you can pick up any of the specialists. I personally prefer playing as infantry, and that's why I mostly run as the medic grandma, also known as Falk, as she can instantly regenerate health with her syringe pistol and continue firing. At the end of the day, it all comes down to personal preference, as the things you can do with Sundance can't be done with, let's say, Dozer, and vice versa. If you are new to Battlefield 2042, you can try out all of the specialists and play with the one that you most prefer. Now let's talk about guns and gadgets. Battlefield 2042 has a decent amount of guns, but in comparison to previous titles, the number of guns can feel a bit underwhelming. Luckily, DICE is fixing the situation by releasing new guns and portal weapons with every season update. If you are new to 2042, you will be surprised to know that more than 80% of the lobby runs the meta guns. And that's understandable as well, because no one really wants to use guns that they enjoy playing but can't really get kills with. However, no matter what gun you are using, the gunfights and the overall experience a gun provides can almost feel the same. How effective your gun is in 2042 heavily depends on what range it's made for. When DICE releases a new weapon, there are very high chances that it's buffed. For instance, launch when Battlefield 2042 released in 2021, everyone was running the PP29, obviously as it was the best gun. A similar situation happened after Season 2 with Avances. DICE nerfed and even silent nerfed Avances so that the gun doesn't remain overpowered. So once again, gun preference comes down to your playstyle and which gun you can actually get kills with. On the other hand, gadgets and grenades in 2042 are really good and nicely serve the purpose they are meant for. However, once the classes are introduced, there will be restrictions on what gadgets you can use. Finally, moving on to the maps. In my opinion, one of the primary reasons why Battlefield 2042 received backlash from the community was maps. All of the launch maps are super big with absolutely no cover. Furthermore, if you play Conquest in any of the launch maps, you have to run a lot to go from cover to cover or to go from one fight to other. Lately, DICE has been reworking the launch maps, which is a good thing. But yeah, it would have been super awesome if DICE launched the maps in their present state. That said, the post-launch maps, namely Exposure, Stranded and Spearhead, are quite impressive. Clearly, DICE has listened to the community while working on these new maps. Lastly, I have absolute zero complaints with Portal maps as they are all tried and trusted. I would like to end the video by saying that there are still some problems with Battlefield 2042 like glitched UI, hit registration problems, and all of the problems that are basically discussed in this video. But if we keep all these problems aside for a few seconds, Battlefield 2042 is actually fun to play right now. If you haven't already, I would highly recommend you to try out 2042, and if you really want to know about the problems with Battlefield 2042, head on to this subreddit. I will definitely make an updated video once classes are reintroduced in Battlefield 2042, so be on the lookout for that. Lastly, super big shout out to anyone who played with me or stopped by the stream in 2022, and I would like to thank John Cena, KPS and IMA57 for all the love and support over the past few months. Take it easy and I'll see you soon.